Hello friends, welcome once again to your channel. Today I am going to teach them how to weave. This beautiful amigurumi is a teddy bear disguised as a ghost. What you're going to love to decorate for Halloween. Super bonito can also be a very nice gift. And if you would like to know how to weave it, stay until the end. And we start. For this project I will be using this material. Almost 3 millimeters. And we'll be working with a 3 millimeters crochet hook. Or if you knit too loose, I recommend a 2.5-year-old. Let's start knitting the legs. For this I'm going to start by making a magic ring. I will pass. I close. And inside this ring I will knit 6 low stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to close in this case by pulling this strand on the back. I'm going to pull. And then I finish closing with the starting one. The next round will be a round of increases. I will start here at the first point. Here I am going to knit an increase. 1 and 2 low points in that space. Next space I will also knit an increase. Next space I have an increase. Next space I have an increase. And so I'm going to knit a raise for each space. Until the end of the return. We have 12 low points left. Here I am about to finish. I am missing this little dot. Ready. For the next round I will knit a low stitch. Remember that if you are a beginner, place the marker. In the following space I have an increase. 1 and 2 low points in the same space. Now teju low point. And in the following space an increase. And that's how I'm going to knit this whole round. A low point and an increase. Until the end of the return. And we will have 18 points left. For the next round I will knit 5 low stitches. Morocco 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the next space I will knit augmentation. And I will repeat 5 low points 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. And an increase, and so. I will have 21 points left until the end of the lap. For the next round I will knit 1 low point for each space. That is to say that I am going to knit the 21 stitches of this round point by point, without increases or decreases. And I'm going to knit this, since this round, which is number 4, up to number 5. And return for lap number 6. I have already the 2 turns. And for the next round, which is number 6, I'm going to knit a low stitch. And let's start with the sequence. A low point. And in the following space a decrease, taking half the chain from the first point. And half of the chain of the next point. And we move on to a low point. I make a low point. And the decrease. Half of the chain of a point. And half of the chain of the next point. And I do low point. A low point. And a decrease. We will repeat this 6 times. 1 point below. And a decrease. A low point. And a decrease. A low point. And a decrease. I finish with 2 low points. 1 and 2, and at the end of the round, we will have 15 low points. Now, for the next round, I will knit 3 low stitches. 1, 2, 3. And I will repeat 1 low point and 1 decrease by 3 times. A low point. A decrease. A low point. A decrease. A low point. A decrease. And I will finish with 3 low points. 1, 2, and 3 low points, and now for the next round. I will knit the corresponding 12 stitches. And I'm going to do this from this lap, which is number 8, until lap number 14. And return. Here I have already up to lap number 14. Now let's close our legs. I will fold in half like this. And I'm going to stop by here. Here taking the 2 points. And I'm going to make low point. I take again the 2 points. And I do low point leaving 2, 3, 4. And 5. We have to have 5 points here in this part. Now we are going to remove the strand. We don't have to leave it so long because we are going to integrate it here to the body and here. I already have both legs. Now we are going to weave the arm. For this we are going to do the same. I am going to start with the magic circle. And within this magic circle, I will knit 6 low stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I take the one on the back. And then the start one and pull here at the first point. Let's knit an increase. 1. Next space an increase. Next space an increase. Next space I have an increase. And so on until the end of the return. We will have 12 low points. Now for the next round. I will knit 12 low stitches. And I'm going to do that from this lap, which is number 3, until lap number 4 and return. For lap number 5. Now, for lap number 5 I will weave 3 decreases. 1. 2. 3. Y teju 6 low points 1 2. 3 4. 5. And 6. And I will have 9 low points left. For the next round I will knit a low stitch for each space. I will knit 9 low stitches from lap number 6 to lap number 13. Let's fill in and come back here. I have until lap number 12. And we are going to do the same as in the arms. I am going to go through the 2 points here. And I do low point. I go through the colon and do the low point. Select 2 points. 3. And here I pass. By this point so. And I make the last low point. We have 4 left. Here I have my legs and arms. Now let's do the body part. For this, I am going to make a 6 low point ring 1 2. 3 4. 5 6 7. It was only 6 like this. Let's close, we already know by pulling the one in the back. And then the starting one. For the next round will be a round of increases. I move here to the first point. And I'm going to knit a raise. 2 low points in the same space. Next space we will also weave an increase. Next space. I see an increase. Next space an increase. And so on until the end of the return we will be left with 12 low points now. For the next round I will knit a low point. And in the following space, I'm going to knit a raise. Now I leave a low point. And in the next space I'm going to knit a boost. A low point. And in the following space an increase. And so on until the end of the return, we will have 18 low points. For the next round, I'm going to knit a low stitch and a raise. We will repeat the same round. Last round, which is a low point and an increase. A low point and an increase. So until the end of the return, I will have 27 low points. For the next round, I will knit 2 low stitches. And in the next space, I'm going to knit a boost. And I will repeat 2 low points. 1, 2, and in the next space, I will knit a boost. I repeat 2 low points. 1, 2, and in the following space, I knit an increase. And so I'm going to knit this whole round. And at the end we will have 36 low points. For the next round I will knit 1 point for each space. The 36 low points. Without increases or decreases. And see you in the next round. Now, for the next round we are going to add the leg. I'm going to go through the first point of the leg here. And I pass here. To the point of the body. And we make low point. Next, we are going to do the same. And we make low point. And so I will knit. In this way. To make the 5 points of this leg. Taking a point on the leg. And the point that is here in front. That this is the last point. And this little piece of material, I can lose it while I'm knitting. Now I will knit 12 low stitches 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12 low points. Here we can withdraw. And we are going to put the other leg on now. It is necessary to see that they remain obviously both by right. So now I'm going to stop by from the last point on this little leg. And here for the next point. And we make low point. And here remember, I'm going to be losing this little piece of material. Next point. And the point in front of. And we make low point. Next point and the point opposite. And we make low point. Remember that it has to be 5 points. Which are the ones I'm wearing on my leg? Here I am about to take the last point. And here we have to. Facing the same side. And I will finish. With 14 low points. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 6, 7. 8, 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. And 14 for the next round. I'm going to knit the same points, 36 low points. 1 for each space. Until the end of the return. For the next round I will knit 2 low stitches. 1. 2 low points. And a decrease. I will repeat. 2 low points. 1, 2. And a decrease. One, 2 low points. And a decrease. And so on until the end of the whole tour. We will be left with 27 low points now for the next round. I'm going to knit 1 point for each space. I got the 27 points. We will not make increases or decreases. And I'll be right back for the next round. Now for the next round I am going to knit a low point. And we make in the following space a decrease. I leave a low point. And then we weave a decrease. A low point. And a decrease. So until the end of the return, we will have 18 low points. Now for the next 2 rounds. I will be weaving a low stitch for each space. 18 points for 2 rounds. And now I return to this point. It is a good time to start filling in our teddy bear. For the next round I will knit 4 low stitches. 1. 2, 3. 4. And in the next space I will make a decrease. And I repeat again. 1. 2, 3, 4. and a decrease. And so I will knit until the end of the turn. I will have 15 low points. For this next round we are going to do the same. That on the last lap. I'm going to stop by here. For the 2 points. And we make low point. I pass here and to the next point of the teddy bear. And we do the bottom. Will be the same. But in this case, we will only have 4 little points on our arm. Here I am going to go through the last little point. We must try to ensure that this part, which is the one that is chubby left, outside. Now I am going to knit 4 low stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to place the other arm. To remember to stay with us as well as this side, which is where it is, as well as longer than this. I'm going to stop by here first by the arm and then by the point. And move on to the next point. And the next point of the bear. And we do the bottom. To the next arm point. And the next point of the bear. And I do low point. So until the end of the 4 points on the arm. Look how beautiful it looks. And we end here. With 1, 2, 3. Here at the next point I am going to make. And I can withdraw. To knit my head, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make a magic circle to begin with. But this time it will be 7 low points. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. and 7. We are going to close. Let's knit 7 increases. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 increases now. For the next round I will knit a low stitch, and in the following space an increase, a low point, and in the following space an increase, and so I will knit until the end of the whole round. For the next round I will knit 2 low stitches, and in the following space I have an increase, 2 low points, and in the following space an increase, and so I will knit until the end of the turn. For the next round I will knit a low point and an increase. Next tile space 3 low points 1, 2, 3. And in the following space an increase. And I repeat 3 low points 1, 2, 3. And an increase. 3 low points. 1, 2, 3 and an increase. And so on until the end of the return. Now for the next round we will be weaving 1 low point for each space. We will not make increases or decreases in this case. And now I'll be back. I tell you how many turns I in height. Here I have already finished the 10 laps. For the next round I will knit a low stitch. And in the following space a decrease. Now I am going to knit 3 low stitches 1, 2, 3. And a decrease. And I repeat 1, 2, 3 low points and a decrease. And so on until the end of the return. For the next round I will knit 2 low stitches. And then I leave the decrease. Again left 2 low points. 1, 2 and I leave the decrease. Two low points. And I share the decrease. I am going to start filling the little head. For the next round I will knit a low stitch. And in the following space, a decrease, a low point, and in the following space, a decrease, and so on until the end of the return. Once completed, in the next space I will make, and I will leave a long strand to sew to the body. Let's start by making a circle. I'm going to knit here 8 low points 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 low points. We are going to close. And for the next round we are going to knit 8 increases. Instead of 1. 2. 3. 4. 5 6. 7. And 8 increases. Next space I will make. Next sliding point. And I will withdraw. Here I have in this case. This one I'm going to use as a little nose. Are actually safety eyes. But I don't have a nose, let's use this. Let's make him his little ghost suit. For this, I'm going to start by making him a beanie. Start with 6 points. Start with 7 low points playing 2 3 4 5 6 7 For the next round we will knit 7 increases. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. For the next round we will knit a low stitch. And in the following space an increase. 1 point. And such an increase until the end of the entire round. For the next round I will knit 2 low stitches. 1 2 and in the following space the increase. And I repeat 1 2 low points. And an increase. And so I will knit until the end of the entire tour. For the next round I will knit a low point. And in the following space I have an increase. Now I am going to knit 3 low stitches. 1, 2, 3, and in which an increase follows. And I repeat. 1, 2, 3 low points and an increase. And so on until the end of the entire tour. For the next round I will be here already woven up to lap number 10. Here in the next space, I will close with sliding dot. And we are going to leave a little piece of material. And this time we are going to sew to the head. Let's take like this. Bits and pieces of the head and beanie. To be well secured. So it is not necessary to sew point by point. But it is not necessary either. Far away. To make the head well cooked. Not here already finished sticking it to him anymore. It is possible. And in this case, we pass this strand between the points. In order to lose, I am going to make a magic circle of 7 low points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 here in the first space. I'm going to knit a low stitch. Next space we will knit an increase. 1 and 2 low points. In the same next space I leave a low point. And in which I continue to see an increase. A low point. And in which there follows an increase. A low point. And here at this last point, I have an increase and I will have 11 low points. For the next round, I will knit these 11 low stitches 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. And 11 low points. And now, for the next lap we are going to close the little ear. I'm going to move on here to the next point. And here a point before, of which we have once passed by the 2 points. I am going to make low point. And I'm going to go closing passing through the colon and dot low. I go through the 2 points and make the low point. I go through the 2 points and make the low point. Here I will pass, crossing this point, to make the last low point. I can withdraw. We are going to leave a little material for sewing. With white thread, I'm going to knit a yellow circle of 5 low stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. First space I knit a low point. In the next space I will knit an increase. Next space I will knit a low stitch, and in which there follows an increase. And I finish with a low point. For the next round I will knit 2 low stitches. 1, 2. And in the next space I'm going to knit a boost. Again I shuffle 2 low points 1, 2. And in the following space I have an increase. And I finish with a low point. For the next round I will knit 3 low stitches. 1, 2, 3. And in the following space, I'm going to knit a raise. And again cut 3 low points. 1, 2, 3, and in the following space an increase. And I leave a low point to finish the lap and here. At the next point, let's make sliding stitch and leave strand. Here I place the beak with the help of a pin. Or a rope you can also place in this case like me. And let's start sewing. I take a strand of the cap. And I take the chain of snow from my beak. Again I take a strand of the cap. And half of the chain here from the beak. Here half of the strand the strand 1 strand. And half of the chain of the part. So. I will be sewing the whole piece. And this piece is what we want to simulate. as the fall. To be like the fall of the sheet or the costume. To make it look more real and not as frozen. So with the help of this grandmother is more symmetrical. Do not move to make sewing easier. And here we end. Hiding the strand. In this case, I would like it to look like this diagonally. And 1 and 2 dots after the paquito. Here the same 2 points after the paquito. And to stay diagonally. I am positioning here the little ears. 3 dots after the piece we just glued. And we are going to sew. I'm going to take half of the strand here. And pass. By the ear. I take half of the strand. And I pass by the little ear. I take a strand from the point. And I pass by the little ear. And this is how I will be sewing. Until the end of. The little suit part. I will secure the first point. And I will upload 25 chains 1 2 3 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Since 11 to 25 points. I will raise 5 more points to do the eyelet part. 1 2 3 4 5. And 2 in height, 1 and 2. Now here at this point I have marked. Is where we are going to start the 25th chain. I'm going to turn and here, at the knot formed at the back. My gachillo passed by. And there I will weave the first high stitch. And we will have an eyelet to put a little button here. And I'm going to knit a high stitch here for every space. I am taking the back knots to make it look more aesthetic. And I'm going to knit a high stitch for each space, until the end of the entire tour. For the next round I upload 2 chains. And I will knit 3 high stitches. 1 And in the next space I will knit the augmentation. 3 high points again. 3. And in the following space an increase. And so on until the end of the entire tour. And I will knit 4 high stitches 1 2. 3 4 and I cut the increase. And I repeat. 4 high points. And in the next space I leave the increase. And so I will knit until the end of the turn. For the next round I upload 2 chains. And I will knit 5 high stitches. 4 and here in the next space I am going to knit the augmentation. And I repeat 5 high points 1 2 3. 4 and the increase. And so on until the end of the return. For the next round, I will knit 6 low stitches. 5 6 low points. And an increase and so on until the end of the return. For the next round, 2 chains and I will knit 7 high stitches. 1. and teju the increase. And so on until the end of the return. For the next round, I upload 2 little chains and I will knit 5 high stitches. 1. 4 and left an increase. And so on until the end of the return. We end with a small chain. Let's add a button here and lose the little pieces of material and I'll be right back. I have already posted the button in this case. If you have a white button, preferably put it on. In this case I only have this one. Something like this is staying here. With the help of felt I made the molds of the eyes and mouth. Look how beautiful it looks. Superb. And this has been the final result of this beautiful little bear in disguise here in a little fantasy. If you liked it, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to this channel, and activate the notification bell for YouTube to notify you every time I have a new video for you. Leave me your comment below what you thought. If you would like to see the teddy bear in costume, pumpkin and teddy bear disguised as a bat, because soon I will be passing them on to you. Thank you very much for accompanying me in this video, and see you in the following video.